Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tales from the Table Studios. We've got a really exciting episode of Rega, Tomb of Sorrows tonight. But before we get to that, there's a couple of things I want to go over. Firstly, why we're all here. We're here raising money for the National Network of Abortion Funds. That means every dollar you donate, from $1 to 100 or more, will go towards travel, logistics, medical expenses, sometimes temporary housing, and other necessities to allow people to continue to maintain and protect their bodily autonomy. Unfortunately, right now, there are a lot of people out there who have lost this right because of some really terrible things going on in this country, and we're doing everything we can to offer our support during this time. So, donate. If you can't donate, that's okay. Tell people about this. The more you share it, the more you put it out on social media, the more you tell your friends, the more likely there are going to be people checking this out, hearing about it, donating, and making a difference. Because really, every dollar, every cent makes a difference. And we really thank you for taking the time to do that and be a part of that. Much like I thank our amazing cast and crew who do the same by being here every week. Thank you all. Second, if you donate in different amounts, you'll be able to do some really cool stuff and get some really cool stuff. With a donation of $15, you can give our party a bane or a boon. That means you can make their lives easier or worse in the next episode. And trust me, you're going to want to. Either one, really. I'm going to be entertained no matter what. They might have a different feeling on it, but that's fine. You'll have already donated. They can't do anything about it. Second, at different donation tiers, you get access to some really cool stuff courtesy of our amazing DM, Jack Gogsbane. At $5, you get the Sunken Temple module. At $10, you'll get that and Spells of Eloquence. At 15, you'll get that and Beastkin Vampires. At 20, you'll get everything I've already said and Ars Artifactsum, the magical items and objects and weapons that exist within Rega. At 30, you'll be getting all of that as well as the Gods of Rega, which is amazing. One of my favorite pieces of work out there right now. And seriously, you're getting all of this at a huge discount and really at a steal. I know I say that every week, but it's not less true. Do it. Donate. Get the stuff. You get to help someone in real life. You get to help or hinder people in this game. You get cool things for it. What else could you possibly want? It's amazing. Definitely do it. Now, third, we've got some other games that are also going to be going on and have been going on that are helping with raising money besides this amazing game that I promise we're going to get to in like 2 seconds. Tomorrow, we'll be back with Avatar Legends The Breaking Point, episode 3. After that, on Friday, we'll be back at 5 p.m. EST with Veil of the Void, The Dead Planet, Part 2, the thrilling conclusion to the epic story started last week. Don't miss it. Then we'll be back on Monday with our final episode of Terror at Bone Gulch. And then on Tuesday, we'll be back with another familiar face from tonight's show. Our very own Justina is going to be running the amazing liminal horror game, and there's more information you can find out about that over on Twitter at the Lion Knight 42, which is where you can find me. So, with all of that said, I have one last thing to say, and then I promise I'm done. We have a Discord now. Come check it out. Hang out at our Discord. The link is below in the About section. You can also find it over on my Twitter. All of these amazing people are there. You can talk to all of them about the game that they're playing now. Ask them why they did things. Tell them if you think they should have done something else. Ask them about what motivates their characters or why they've made the characters they've made. Ask our amazing DM how he came up with this incredible, beautiful world that they all exist in. With that, I think I've said everything that I need to say, which is great because I'm very excited to get out of your hair and allow you all to experience this new episode of Rega, Tomb of Sorrows. Enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to the successor states of Rega, Tomb of Sorrows, an actual play in support of the National Network of Abortion Funds. I am Jack Kellum, Jack Gogsbane, and before I remind you where we are, I will allow the three players who are already here to introduce themselves once more. Q, start us off.
Hi, I'm Q, Dorian_Black on Twitter, and then it's Black with a Q on Twitch. I'm really not on there, but you can be friends, I guess. I'm playing Kole Igniades, the City Dwarf Forge Cleric, Priest of Ignia.
Very good. Justina.
I'm Justina, Justina Revolution on Twitter, and I am playing Florenta, the human rogue thief.
Oh, interesting lady too. Del.
I'm Del at Del Deliriums, or Delirium is Delight, depending on where you want to find me. I play Luka Sobieski, a Spartoi Paladin of Redemption of Kaela.
And another one of our players will be joining us later. Rev plays Oldie, a Deepwood Halfling bard of the College of Rhetoric, who is a fervent follower of the fox and beer god Vulpos. That all being said, our stalwart companions had just had a long conversation with the famous scholar and bard Vindis Erstades, in which they discovered quite a bit of information about the past of this tomb and the person entombed in it. They found out that he predated the conquering of Scaria by the Empire. They found out that he may have been empowered by an even older entity known as the Scolomancer, who existed in this region before Scaria was even a distinct nation. And they found out that Skaudas, the king in the tomb, had entombed himself out of grief. Perhaps he had simply lost too much over his life. But in the beginning of his life, he was a good man, and only by the end had he descended into darkness. We rejoin the three as they rise from the table. Oldie staying behind to speak to Vindis about collegiate matters and promising that he'll catch up. What is your next course of action, having already gotten the materials you needed? I believe Del was going to the church. Justina was going to get, Luka was going to the church, and Florenta was going to buy some silver
weapons. Yes.
Correct. What was Kole going to be doing at that time?
I think Kole is just anxious to go. So I think he's going to stay at the tavern, or if either of the two would like company, he's willing to go with.
Well,
I'll take company.
Very well.
very good. So Kole and Florenta will head down to Master Bogdan's forge, where getting silver daggers is insignificant, really, barely an inconvenience. Meanwhile, we will discover what Luka is doing at the church.
After hearing everything that Vindis had to say, Luka is finding themselves at that moral standstill that they were discussing, wanting to prey on things and reach out to their god about what the best path of redemption is. Is there a way to feel the souls of these deceased that we may run into? Is the king too far gone to be redeemed? Is there such a thing? And is it too much for someone to handle. Not that they're willing to give up, but they recognize that it's not going to be just them going in.
Right. And it had already been discussed that it might be the price for such redemption might be higher than you're willing to pay.
Right.
Again, not because of yourself necessarily, but because, again, you're not on your own.
Right. So it's a matter of praying and reaching out to Kayla, and spending some time on that while other things are getting done.
All right. Make me if you remember the description of the temple, it is Greco-Roman in style, which possibly surprising to modern day eyes is extremely brightly colored, as everything is marble, but it's also brightly painted and covered in pigments. It is not the white marble that people associate with Greco-Roman architecture today. You head in and move to the high altar, of course, since Kaela shares the throne of heaven with Savios, king of the gods. As a member of the clergy yourself, at least to a certain extent, you are given free reign. And since you obviously seem to be on a mission, no one approaches you unless you seem to desire it. You kneel down in front of the altar, and as you begin to pray, give me an idea of exactly what you're asking and give me a charisma check.
So when Luka sits down, it isn't a kind of bow your head and silence. There are soft songs coming from their lips as they take out some folded some parchment and start to fold it into the shape of a dove.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of go ahead.
Quick correction. Not kneeling at the altar. That is not actually part of Greco-Roman or thus Regan tradition. Much like the Norse, they stand before their gods. So my apologies. Carry on.
Well, I was more thinking that they would be going to the side rather than taking up the front, because being conscientious of other people who may want to be at the altar. So finding a place where it isn't obstructing anybody else who may want to be there, especially in the times that the town is more than likely aware of that things are starting to get a little darker. So
very valid and very, very compassionate and considerate. What a surprise. It's like there's a theme about Luka.
No.
All right. Yes. All right. So humming to themselves, little tunes, folding a paper, dove, etc.
So the general thought, or are you asking for what they are
general
thinking?
Thought's fine.
She can
look into your heart and see what you mean. She can look into your heart and see what you mean.
Intent is what matters.
Exactly. When speaking to the gods, definitely.
The intent is kind of to find a confirmation, an affirmation, something to reaffirm their desire to redeem the things that they're going to encounter in the tomb, and looking for a kind of guiding light to see what can be redeemed and whose souls have already left, so that they don't hesitate too much and endanger their friends.
Right. All right. Very good. Make that charisma check for me.
Is this going off of charisma save? Or is it the modifier saving throw?
I'll allow the save. The save makes sense.
Okay.
The only reason there's a roll at all is because the gods of Rega are neither omnipotent nor omniscient. You have to get their attention, and they have to have the wherewithal to respond at the time.
Yoo-hoo, pay attention to me.
Yep.
That is a 22.
All right. It's subtle, but there does seem to be a very faint silvery glow around the paper dove in your hands, which indicates to you that you have her attention.
My queen.
And much as she usually does, it's not a, oh, thundering from on high, let me speak the commandments to thou. There's that quiet little voice that you could mistake for your own thoughts if you weren't already paying real close attention to it. You know, the way Christian theologists describe the small, still voice inside, that one. I cannot make the decision for you. I can tell you that it is possible. I cannot see all the futures. So I do not know whether you would be able to do it or what you might have to give up, because there are many different circumstances that might arise. I can at least help you to see when the souls have gone, so you know if there is something to be redeemed. You must decide in the moment whether it is worth the risk to yourself, your companions, and the town to redeem those who have chosen the dark.
That is more than enough.
But know that I am proud of you.
They are clearly crying if anybody walks by.
The pale-skinned high priestess I mentioned before, who is still here because, of course, she's organizing the priests in defense.
It's her church.
Right. Quietly hands you a handkerchief marked with Kaela's symbol and keeps going.
Dab, 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 dab. Tucks in the shirt.
All right. Is there anything particular that Florenta and Kole wish to accomplish at the smithy that needs our attention, or can we just say you bought it and move on?
Happy to say bought it and moved on.
Bought and moved on.
Very good. Then the three of you reconvene near the inn, which is relatively close to the exit, because you're certainly not going to put the inn a long way into a fortress town when people are going to be tired coming in off the road.
Right.
So you are all reconvened. Are you at this point ready to head out toward the tomb?
I believe I am ready. Are you also ready?
I'm ready.
Good.
I'm
Luka?
ready.
Good. I wish
Head out.
that Oldie was
Go ahead.
coming with us. Sorry. He'll catch that by zero.
He said he would.
He did.
Head out.
Insight and knowledge are important.
Of course. Which is, yes, of course.
Do you doubt him?
I don't
Yeah.
doubt him. We're just going into a very dangerous situation, and I would like for us to all go together. But
You doubt your best friend. You shouldn't
I
do
don't-
that.
I don't doubt him.
don't know if it is doubt. I mean, I am terrified of where we are going as well. Look at it this way. Maybe he can call for help if we are dying horribly entombed, you know?
He'll be able to tell our story.
Yes, yes, see? Bright side to this.
I'm glad to see that both of you are remaining so positive.
I'm going to assume that you're all talking as you're walking.
I mean,
As
yeah.
you head out through the gates that they open for you and quickly close back behind, even though they would normally be open during the day, into the still relatively thick mist. You can see a little further than you could in the depths of the night. Perhaps some of it is burnt off, and of course you don't have the problem of darkness to deal with. Luckily, the path to the tomb itself is actually very clear, and although it hasn't been particularly well maintained, it was very well built to begin with. Not quite in the Reagan style, though. The stones are perhaps intentionally uneven, not enough to cause a difficulty in walking, but enough for the texture to be noticeable under your feet, so that if you wander off the path, your feet will tell you. Which implies some interesting things about when they might have been expecting to use such a path. It doesn't take more than a couple of hours, maybe an hour. It's really hard to tell time when you're not carrying a candle that's marked or looking at a clock, especially when you can't see the passage of the sun. But probably more than an hour, probably no more than 2 hours later, you find yourself on the edge of that graveyard, halfway up the hill, where it begins to be obviously where they mounded the dirt in the varying elevations, just as Vindus described the way they had built a tumulus tomb. Even through the mist, you can see the vague shapes of the stone circle around the central tomb mound. Although at this distance you can see very little else except for the occasional bit of dead tree. How would you like to proceed? You should be able to see on the map, which has remained the same.
So, do you wish to go around the graveyard again and then up into the stone circle?
I feel like that would be one of the smartest ideas. Jack, is Garveros with us?
Kerberos joined you about halfway here, yeah.
All right, just making sure because it's same on the map.
Yep, he absolutely did.
I think that around would be best, considering the fact that we know that disturbing those graves is going to give us more trouble than it's worth.
True. Though, to be fair, it's likely that they will wake regardless, especially if the master, the king of this tomb is already awake. But best to be safe rather than sorry. Jack, I'm going to cast Aid.
Mm-hmm. On the three of you, on the three others?
Yes.
Okay.
He raises his hand up. There's a flame that collects between his fingers. He traces Igniades' symbol in the air, and it sort of disperses out among his allies. You all feel a warmth wash over you. Mechanically, your maximum and current hit points increase by 5.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Right, which means, yeah, as long as that spell lasts, you actually have more life force. It's not even temporary.
Right. And it lasts for 8 hours. So.
Yep. Which means for those 8 hours, you effectively have straight up 5 more hit points. They can be healed and everything.
Yep.
Luka feeling buff.
Yeah.
Florenta feeling way better than she did a minute ago.
All right.
And Kerberos just looks like an absolute unit. Anyway. All right. So you are moving up around the edge the same way you did last time?
Yes.
Cool. Oh, I need to take take Andros off the map real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He did
Yeah.
not come back with you.
I would hope not. Oh, and just so you know, if you keep seeing me look down, I actually got the physical book because I'm panicking.
I mean, that's not entirely unreasonable.
It's fine. I have some of my stuff on my phone that I've been looking up because I also may be slightly panicking.
just to be sure, you know what I mean?
All right. Assuming you're doing the same thing you did last time, Kerberos is in the lead. Luka bringing up the rear, and of course, Florenta dashing from cover to cover.
Once we get within 60 feet of those graves, I'm going to cast Divine Sense.
Once again, other than the vague feeling of evil in the mist itself, there is no celestial, fiendish, or undead presence that is not either under total cover or Kole.
Oh yeah, I have to talk to him about that.
Right, because I still don't know. Still got nothing.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
It wouldn't be too surprising to you. Your last name is Igniades.
Well, sure, but like ASMR and Tiefling.
Family legend.
Right. But anyway.
I mean, that's true. They don't normally pop. I'll accept that.
Right. Plus, I'm just the dwarves.
You know what? Now's the best time. Might as well fill the air. No need for silence. Florenta's got the silent thing covered.
And it's not like he doesn't know you're coming. He already told you that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
So the divine sense goes off and they look around and there's a moment where it's like, huh. Oh. Hey, Kole.
Yeah.
Your last name, is that
a family name? Yeah.
You ever about your ancestry? Are you guys like directly related?
It is touted that yes, we are descendants of Ignia, but it could just be big talk for my family. They live in the city, so it's important that they are important. Why?
There's a sheen that goes over their emerald eyes, and it kind of glows for a moment. Family legend, huh?
You're worrying me.
No, great thing. I think that celestials are wonderful beings. I think that you're going to do great. Great things ahead of you. Let's go.
All right. So, Florenta, are you once again posted up outside the ring?
Yes, that's where Florenta will be for right now.
Very
so
good.
We're ready to make the approach.
You are able to see far enough to see the entrance, by the way. It is still open, but there's nothing currently standing there. You wouldn't be able to see much further past that, but at least you've got a good view of the entrance, which means, you can shoot things, which is important. And then, of course, Kerberos moves up and stops by the door, assuming Kole follows.
Yeah.
And Luka right about there, yeah?
Yeah.
All righty. Probably to no one's surprise, it is just as all three of you make it within the stone circle that you hear sort of quiet explosions as earth erupts
Okay. Yeah.
from each and every one of the graves.
Mm-hmm.
No thanks.
As I expected.
3. And now, as you can see, the piles of dirt beside the graves are actually present there now because of the eruption.
Mhm.
And is slowly being populated by more and more faces.
Yep. Although it's actually not all that slow. All 12 of them come up at once, pretty much.
No, it can be that slow. That's okay.
Right.
But it isn't, and that's unfortunate. However, again, none of you were surprised. You were at least halfway looking back at this, waiting for it to happen. So go ahead and roll initiative for me.
All right.
Yeah. Ow, that does not work the way that I thought it does.
Actually. Did you roll in that 20?
That's not where I want it.
It's fine. It's not where I want it either.
All right, Luka, what is your initiative score?
21.
21. You never know. You might get more of them. Kole.
21.
Woof.
I also rolled in that 20.
Very nice. Florenta.
23, I rolled 19.
We
Very
are back.
pretty.
Let's hope that this theme continues. Let's keep this rolling.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Florenta, you are the first to act, unsurprisingly.
Okay. Do I see what's coming out of the graves?
You let me see exactly how far away they are from your perspective. You are there. You see the first one, the one that's closest to you there. You know there are shapes moving in the fog, but you can see the first one. You can see that a skeleton, armed and armored, has dug its way out of the ground. Not that its arms and armor are well preserved or anything, but
Right. So, Jack, I do have a question. Do
Yes.
skeletons get the resistance to piercing and slashing in this one?
They don't have a resistance. What they have is, and you're high enough level, it's fine. I can tell you, especially since you were asking people stuff last night, the night before, and he actually specified what to do with skeletons. It isn't that they have a it isn't that they have a resistance per se. It's that they are vulnerable to blood.
Okay. That's just different in 5e, so I'm...
Right.
All right. So I'm going to take a shot at that one.
Mm-hmm.
I got a nat 20.
Very
Let's
good.
go.
Well, unlike many other editions of D&D, you can totally crit a skeleton. First of all. Second of all, you were still hidden. So you get your sneak attack.
Which is also
Gorgeous.
double.
On a
digits.
crit, you double the sneak attack dice as well.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. A rogue critting is disgusting. BT dub.
Which
It's
is why
so
the
beautiful.
assassin rogue is so terrifying.
Yeah.
Because they just rolled a hit and then
Oh.
they auto crit.
Yeah.
Alright,
With
so
specific
Now,
now
usually,
circumstances, but yes.
if she'd been playing an assassin rogue and made that nat 20, I'd have said, okay, max damage crit.
All right, so I rolled a 10 for my short bow damage, and now I've got to do my. I'm looking for my sneak attack damage. There it is, 2d6.
2d6, yeah.
So it'll be 4d6 or double whatever you roll.
Okay, so that is 11, so double that, 22.
Okay.
Plus,
Now on your
yeah.
short bow damage, did you double the
Mhm.
whole total or just the dice?
I did not double the whole total.
Good. You're only supposed to double the dice.
Excellent. That's what I did.
Good. Making sure. That's another one that a lot of people who aren't as used to 5e get wrong, so I wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Cool. So you're looking at what was your total on the sneak attack?
On the sneak attack was 11, so 22.
Yeah, 22 total. 22 plus the 10 actually. So 32 damage to a creature that has 13 hit points is a shot directly into the skull as it's coming out of the ground, and it just scatters backward in a shower of bones.
Nice. So then I'm going to roll my stealth, which I got an 18.
Okay.
To use my cunning action.
Yep.
And then I'm going to move behind Luka and Kole and
Cool.
Kerberos.
Do you want to go through the opening, or do you want to use an acrobatics and go over the top?
Let's try going over the top.
Cool.
This is where I rolled the 2. Anyway, no, I got a 15.
Nice.
That's respectable. And let's add that. So 15, 19.
Yep. Swiftly and quietly.
Florenta's a
Just
fucking phantom.
Jump up, vault over, Batman yourself right
Love
into
it.
there, into a protected position behind your friends.
The
And
ghost of death.
this
Just
right here is an ex-skeleton,
very nice.
which is good because that's the skeleton that got the highest initiative.
Good.
Now, there is a skeleton that goes on 21, but PCs go first.
Sweet. Luka, would you like to go first?
I was going to offer you the chance. It doesn't matter. We technically go at the same time.
Okay. So Cole's got shield and hammer out. He's just gonna charge at one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Go swing a wing.
Okay. Very good. Does that look right?
Yeah.
This is great because we're doing the same thing.
Fantastic. All right. That was
I just need to know whether you're going right or left, Luka.
Left.
Very good.
Okay. That was a 17 to hit.
A 17 to hit will hit all day plus some of tomorrow.
Fantastic. That's a 4. That's 7 damage, bonus action. No, I'm not going to spiritual weapon. Just kidding. This is the first battle. We're not blowing our lip. Not the first battle. So
that's legit.
So yeah, that was it for you, boy. 7 points of damage.
7 points. Well,
damage. Yeah.
it's vulnerable to bludgeoning, so that becomes 14.
Yeah.
And there is another scattered bone pile flying backward away from you.
Fantastic.
Very cool. Luka. Oh, by the way, and that was the one that went on a 21. So, boom, done. Just at that moment, running through the mists behind you to join you, Oldie, your Deepwood Halfling, Bard, College of Rhetoric, is at the base of the mound, not the base of the hill. He's on the hill, but the base of the mound.
Okay.
And you need to go ahead and roll initiative for me, Rev.
Alrighty. +1. So that is a 17.
Very good.
We rolled really well for our initiatives, by the way, so just be ready.
Indeed. All right, so you can tell that Oldie can tell that up the hill there's battle going on, but there is still thick fog. He cannot clearly see what is happening yet.
All
You
right.
can only see about 15 feet, which by the map would put it. Yeah, you can really only see the nearest tree and alongside it. But you can hear hammers crunching into bones. Speaking of which, Luka,
Mhm.
you can tell, looking at these things, that they do not have souls. You're not sure how you know, but it seems as if your goddess has come through and made good on her promise. Somewhat unsurprisingly.
Not surprising at all.
Correct.
Giving me that sight beyond life. So
Indeed.
we'll go ahead and step up to the bat next to Kole. At the next one,
Mm-hmm.
shield and hammer.
Very good.
All right. See how this goes. 21 to hit.
That will definitely impact solidly.
Ye-
Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is the wrong day. And this is because I have the shield out, it's the main hand, not both hand one, correct?
Correct.
Mhm.
Just making sure. Okay, so that is 12.
All right. That is doubled because they are vulnerable. Because they are vulnerable to bludgeoning and you use your hammer, that is doubled for 24, which is considerably more than it had. And the pieces of this one scatter further than any strike thus far. You're very strong.
Go get him, do good.
Indeed. And finally, now it is a skeleton's turn.
Okay.
They don't
This
need one.
one ceases to. Say again, Del?
I said they don't need a turn.
But they get one. So there's
No.
that.
Mm.
And this one moves closer to you and attempts to stab you with a halfway broken short sword.
Rude.
Very.
Well, it thought you were being rude too, you know.
That's fair.
It got a total of 20.
Ouch. I have been stabbed.
You have been stabbed, indeed. You take 5 points of piercing damage from the jagged short sword. Now, what this really means, of course, is that it's been jammed into your mail and etc., and you have some bruises and scratches underneath it. But it was a palpable hit.
Does it go through the Kole? What did Kole give us again?
It would take those. You have 5 extra hit points, so you obviously the 5 damage you just took you down to your normal temporarily until
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
But if I
making
were
sure.
to heal you, you would heal those 5 back up. They're not temporary.
Right. Yeah, no, they're real hit points. The love of the gods is a beautiful thing. All right. The sight of this apparently makes Kerberos angry.
Yeah.
My buddy.
And he charges out all the way over here.
Okay.
As an individual used to hunting in packs, he instinctively places himself in a flanking position and doesn't care at all for his own well-being, because he's not used to things actually being able to hurt him much for, lots of reasons. And while he no longer has that perpetual anger going, he does seem to be able to tap right back into it as
Dope.
he uses a bonus action to rage.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Raging, putting, I. He is attacking recklessly, so he
Like
has
you do.
advantage, like he does every time. You don't get over a lifelong experience and stop operating the same way just instantly.
For sure.
All right. It's a good thing he had advantage, because one of those was a 1 and the other one was a 13.
Oh,
With his +5 bonus, the 18 final hits quite well. You can actually tell they've been hit enough times now. They only have armor classes of 13.
cool.
So he hits it quite well and does 8 points of damage. Unfortunately, he's not using a bludgeoning weapon. So while it does chop into the creature, it does not kill it or destroy it, I should say. And unfortunately, even though he is frenzy, he has the ability to frenzy, he is not doing so, as he had to use his bonus action to rage.
Mm-hmm.
So he has gotten into that position and struck. And it was a good hit, just not quite good enough. The next person to act is actually Oldie.
Well, okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my movement and see if I can measure that out. And then boop, 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 boop. So that's 30 feet. Can I see the nearest enemies to me, or is that still out of range? I can tell you what that's.
You can see one of them. The one on the far left.
Yeah, that's 15 feet. Okay.
That's 15 feet. You can see him.
I can see him, but I can't see the rest of what's going on.
You cannot see them clearly. The other one's relatively close. You could see enough to target, but you would be at disadvantage.
Okay. So, yeah. In that case, I think I'm going to try to move sort of. I'm going to take a 20-foot move and end up sort of behind him, a little bit past him, behind him.
Okay.
That would be a double move for me.
Right, and that would put you. That would be all of your action.
Yep. So that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I can't see. I could attack one, but I'm not comfortable just blasting something I can't see clearly because I don't know.
Very well. You can now see two of them quite clearly because they're within 5 to 10 feet of you. So, and you can sort of see the other ones just past.
Okay.
All right. Very good. And now, unfortunately, a whole bunch of skeletons get to do stuff.
Yeah, that's the good times.
This one has already acted, so The one on the other side of Kerberos is going to make an attack. Luckily, he can only get advantage once. So the fact that he was reckless and he's flanked doesn't stack. And it misses with both.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's rough, buddy.
This one moves up and also attacks with advantage. This one hit. This one jams its.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Because this is my first time using it. How does interception work?
Your interception is, I believe that's the one where it reduces the damage, right?
When a creature visible to you hits a target within 5 feet of you,
Which he just barely is.
you can take a reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus your proficiency bonus.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can jump out and cover him with your shield and take some of that damage, which was going to be rolled a total of 6 points. He would take 3.
Okay. I just roll.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find my proficiency bonus.
It's plus 2 at this level.
2.
So that'll be 6.
Right. So you prevented any damage from happening, and in fact would have done so without rolling, as he only took 3 anyway after his
Nice.
resistance. So yeah, you jump forward and bang, take that hit on your shield.
Since it's a reaction, I can only do it like once a round, right?
Correct.
Okay.
These
Just wanted to
creatures
make sure I
turn
was reading it right.
and move to flank Oldie. Only one of them is actually going to get advantage since the first one would attack him before it.
Can we see Oldie yet, or is he far away? He's
a little shape hiding behind a gravestone from Luka's perspective, and she's the close. They are the closest.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it's really hard to find a halfling in the fog, even when they're not trying to be stealthy.
For sure.
That was a total of a 19. I believe that hits you, Oldie.
Oh, most definitely. I'm squishy. My AC is a piddly 12.
All right, you take 3 points. you take 3 points of piercing damage as it jams a jagged, broken off short sword into your side.
Oldie, what do you mean? What do you
mean? That's really super rude.
You managed to avoid most of the actual. It doesn't get major organs or anything because you're still pretty agile, but that hurt. And unfortunately, the other one that's on the other side of you, because you moved up and they moved to flank you, has advantage on the attack. And just barely hits. It rolled an 8. They have a +4. It just barely hit you.
I'm trying. I'm dodging. I'm moving.
You take 5 more points of piercing damage.
Okay.
One moves up to attack Kole. And just stabs the air over his head.
Cool.
But the second one moves up beside it and has advantage. Or
Gang.
on the other side of you, I should say.
Yeah, sure.
All right. A total of 22. I believe that actually hits you.
Sounds good.
You take 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
That one moves up to Luka. Luka is flanked. They have advantage.
Excuse you. This is my bubble.
But their highest roll is only a 16.
Yeah, my bubble. Stay out of it.
Because Luka has a lot of armor class. The very last one moves in, takes that last little space, and also has advantage. Total of 18. Does that hit you?
I am 18.
Yep. Just barely hits you then. 6 points of piercing damage.
Yikes. My sheet, my shield, just to make sure, is already calculated in my AC, correct? Because that is my modus operandi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. You said
Very
6.
wise. Because if it was, because if it wasn't, then we'd need to add that. That would be important. All right, Florenta, it is back to you at the top of the next round.
From my vantage point, I can see the ones that are on Kole and Luka, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Looks like a lot pressing in on Luka, so I'm going to take aim at one of them. And
the closest one would probably be this one.
I'm sadly not seeing that one. So.
Okay, I moved it out, but I moved it back in. Now you see it?
All right, cool. I can see it, yes.
That one, moving it back in.
All right. Okay, so this time I got a... Sorry.
Did you roll with advantage?
Yes, I did.
Making sure.
Which is good because the first one was a 1. So
that's not a good situation to get a 1 in.
No, it is not. So let's see. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so I have hit with a 19 with that.
Yep.
And ooh, that is 10 piercing plus another 6 plus 1, so 7.
Oh, wow. So you rolled max damage on the first shot. Nice.
Yes.
Cool. So we're looking at 17 total damage?
17, yes.
Yet again, you are dealing with a former skeleton as your arrow shot strikes it in the spine and causes it to drop like a marionette with its strings cut.
And for my bonus action, I got a 19 to hide again. It's like, no.
Where would you like to move to hide?
I would like to move a little bit. Let's see, maybe out where closer to where Oldie is, so I could get like a bead on some stuff with on at least one of the skeletons that's on Kole.
Luckily, with the fog, you have enough concealment to hide without having to hide behind anything.
Right.
It works against them as much as it works against you. All right, so you see the position I put you in?
Yes.
Let me make sure, because you were wanting to move close enough to shoot. So let's put you a little closer.
All right.
There you go.
Cool.
Kole.
Hello.
This is starting to seem a little more serious than it felt a moment ago. What are you going to do?
Cool beans. So hey, I need you to map it out for me. How many skeletons could I get in Burning Hands territory?
Aha. If you move,
Mhm.
which might provoke an attack of opportunity from one of them. Doo-doo-doo. All right, so we're looking at a 15-foot cone, as I recall, yes?
Yeah.
So you can move so as to get 4 of them.
Cool that I'm doing that.
Hang on. The problem is if you get 4, you're also probably going to get Luka. Because actually, you don't even have to move for that.
Okay.
You can get 4, and there's not really an angle you can get at that isn't going to get one of your companions in the fire.
Would I be able to get them if they were to move? Like if any of my allies were to move, would that be okay?
It's possible, yeah.
Okay. Well,
You also have the ability. Well, I mean, you could get 3 without engaging any of your allies.
okay.
So we
And the
go
one on the other side of Luka that you'd be burning, the only one that you'd hit is already damaged by.
Okay. Then I'll just deal with the 3. Then I'll just deal with the 3 and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, because then you can just, the fire will streak right beside Luka, but not hit her. Hit them.
Yeah.
My apologies. I am stumbling tonight.
So, but you're catching yourself, and that's all good. All right, let's see.
Doing my
So they
best.
need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. And your DC is?
My DC is a thing. I believe it's 8 plus.
It's an amount?
It's 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom.
Yep.
So 10, 15.
Nice.
I believe.
Yeah, because you do have that big old 20 wisdom.
So yeah, 15. Ooh, very good.
None of them made their save. They all take full damage.
Cool. I rolled almost max. so that's 17.
All right.
Damage.
Well, 3 of them simply burn and turn to ash in a way reminiscent of the way vampires die in the movie Blade.
Okay. Very good.
And Luka is no longer even vaguely flanked, and neither are you.
Good. It was looking a little weird. Also, did I hear Oldie? There was a proclamation of something being very rude.
Yes, definitely heard Oldie over there, like, oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, you heard the sounds of flesh being stabbed, and then the proclamation of someone being rude, and then flesh getting stabbed.
Oh, that was really rude.
Okay, then now that I'm no longer flanked, I'm gonna go over there.
That will provoke an attack of opportunity, but it's worth it, right?
Bring it on, come on.
All right. Well, it brought it, and it came on. It got a 22.
That is. Bring it. Let's go. I got
take
HP.
5 more damage.
Ouch.
But you get to move over there. Are you wanting to be on the other side of this one, or right next to Oldie, or on the? That's it, basically. You can
right
get
next
the one
to Oldie.
that's right next to Oldie. Cool. And keep in mind, since you're not flanking, that will not grant you advantage next round.
Sure. Is there like a position that I can get into flank?
Yeah. You could be right up there.
I'm gonna give my friend any advantage that he needs.
Aw,
Sounds reasonable.
bestie, it's so good to see you.
You should have come with us.
Sorry, I gotta work on my long distance running.
It's okay.
How many? You've taken a total of like 10, Oldie?
I have taken a total of 8. I took 3 and then I took 5.
Oh, that's not that bad then. Okay, yeah, you're not even through a third of your hit points, so we haven't
That
even
is
hit blood yet.
exactly a third of my hit points, yes.
Yeah, we have not hit blood yet. You've got 30 hit points on my sheet.
Oh, I have 24 on mine. Well,
Right, I reminded you of this max hit points at the beginning.
That would be...
Whereas you took average hit points on your sheet.
All max all the time, baby.
All the time.
It's just simpler.
There we go.
And I can dial things up
Override it.
without as much trouble. Alrighty. Cool. Win. Now it is Luka's turn.
All right. I hear Oldie. That's good. I hear Kole going over to Oldie. That's better. I'm assuming that Florenta is somewhere kicking butt, taking names, or not even bothering to write any names down. It's fine. It's a good assumption.
Just randomly exploding, probably Florenta.
If we don't see her corpse suddenly appear, I assume that she's doing her weird specter thing.
Absolutely. Ninja from the shadows. It's cool. All gravy. I'm going to focus on Mr. McSkellyhands in front of me who stabbed me, which is not cool. So I would like to return the favor, but with hammer.
Deal him an ouch. If he felt pain, which he doesn't.
All right. Does a 14 hit?
It does.
Yay.
His
Okay.
class is only 13.
Right.
E. Okay. It is. That is 9.
I just like to hear what your totals are so I can narrate exactly how dead they are, because he actually only had 6 left, which was your minimum. So having done more than the minimum, your hammer comes down on his head and renders him into a squashed pile of skeleton very rapidly.
Bone meal, nice.
Good soup.
You still have a move action and a bonus action if you have one available.
I would like to move on the other side of my spotted buddy to give him advantage. Wait, no, he already gets advantage.
Yeah. He gets advantage all by himself and has resistance to all the damage they can deal out.
Yes. My brain didn't remember that for a moment.
I mean, still give him some backup because he's, being dogpiled, I think.
No, not anymore. He's got one foe.
Oh, never mind.
Frankly, the one person who's in the most danger, quite obviously, is the one who doesn't have aid, 2, doesn't have armor, 3, has the least hit points of any of you.
The fact that you don't have armor is really, really sending me, and not in the good way.
Yeah, it's a problem. Let me go ahead and get the bone man near Florenta another target.
Legit. Although it does not seem to know that she's there. It was on Kole.
I'm going where I know that Kole and Oldie are, because I can't see
and you
how
can
many.
See that one. Copy that.
Right. Because I can't see beyond that. They might be surrounded like I was, for all I know.
Yep. No. Very reasonable. Thank you for keeping to what your character would know. I appreciate that. Excellent. One of the, I have fog in the other room. I would have to be moving the fog around constantly here. Too much.
That sounds like fun. No, I know that I'm blind. That's okay.
All right. So it is now Kerberos's turn. Kirby for short.
Kirby.
Yeah, I call him Spot.
That's also
Same.
good.
It's the same
I
thing.
mean, that is why how he explained his name. So, all right. He has advantage. He takes the swing. He strikes solidly. And this time, this creature takes the full 13 as he rolls an 8 and adds a 5, and its head flies off of its shoulders and it collapses to the ground.
Yeah.
At which point he has movement. And he's not relying on sight to figure out where things are. So he rushes over there to help Oldie. And he frenzies this round using a bonus action to strike again. And on advantage, gets a nat 20.
Nice.
For 20 points of damage, cleaving down through the skull into the spine and separating the rib cage as that skeleton falls back.
That's just a pile of chew toys for him now.
Pretty much. And now it's Oldie's turn.
Yes. Well, the one that's flanked by me and Kole is within my touch range.
It is, yes.
Okay, in that case, or you know what? No, I'm just gonna. You like fire, anyways, so I'm gonna fire. I'm gonna cast a cantrip and firebolt it.
Legit.
Or attempt to, and I may presume that a 19 hits.
You presume accurately. Their armor classes are 13.
Ooh, nice. And then I do 10 damage of fire.
All right. It
Fire.
is on fire. It is fired. It is not on fire. Firebolt doesn't actually do that. But you have caused it significant damage with fire, but its scorched bones still stand. And the little wisps of flame that make it past it to Kole feel kind of good, actually.
See, I was right. You do like fire. It's okay. Excellent. Ooh.
Yeah, of course.
And then for my bonus action, I'm just getting in, and I don't know how much is beyond the fog that I can't see, but Kole is right there, and he's my best friend. So I'm going to sing you a song about how you're my best friend. And I see how you would never abandon me, and I would never abandon you. And I give you a bardic inspiration die you can use sometime in the next 10 minutes.
So basically, you got a friend in me. Excellent. All right.
And then I'm not taking a move, so I'm done for this round.
Very good. You have done. There are 2 skeletons left. I got to go down this thing and take all those skeletons off. Whoo! Okay. It is those skeletons' turn. They have no notion of fear. They don't have souls. They don't have minds. So they don't try to retreat or anything of that sort. But they do seem to have some basic tactical programming. So the one that you moved up behind, Kole, it is still going to try to ignore you and strike Oldie, because basic tactics tells you geek the mage.
Sure.
And he just tossed a fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. We have a critical hit.
Mm.
What do you think you got?
It's got 10 points of damage.
Ooh, yeah, you got something. I think.
He's
that
actually
was a
drawn
rib.
blood.
I think that was a rib.
Yeah.
I don't
A
like
rib
it.
breaks. A rib breaks, and now you're actually bleeding. You have actually been hurt.
Yeah, because I'm lower than half.
Yup. And I use that, even though it was introduced in 4E, it's one of the few things from 4E I like. There's several, actually. It's just there were problems. Anyway. And the other one, not knowing about Florenta and focused on Kole, has somehow not noticed the looming Spartoi come up behind it. So it attempts to move this way, provoking an attack of opportunity, which you
Kill
can
it.
use your reaction to take advantage of.
Kill it dead.
Kabong!
14.
That's a hit.
The dice likes me rolling 14 tonight. I hope that it
Mhm.
starts to roll better when we start encountering things with higher ACs.
Yes.
It
Yes,
would be
please.
more helpful, yes. Or just always get advantage. That also helps.
Facts, yes. Wait, I had advantage?
Not this time.
Okay, I was about to say, let me roll again.
No, you did not have advantage this time.
Ooh, that is max.
Excellent.
So that is 13.
Yep, it is of the toast. Thou hast smashed it. There is one skeleton remaining. And it is Florenta's turn because those skeletons have now acted.
All right, so Florenta is going to move right in next to Kole and use the rapier for the first time in this game. And that is a 21.
That will definitely hit. And it is most assuredly flanked.
Yeah.
So you have advantage if you'd like to roll to see if it crits.
Well, I had advantage for being sneaky.
Very good. I was just making sure whether you had rolled advantage or not.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your damage and sneak attack then.
Ooh. Okay, so it's not good for the skeleton. I got a 12 from the rapier.
Ooh.
And
Sheesh.
an 11 again for the sneak attack damage.
All right. So Florenta deftly steps in, slides her blade just under the chin into the spinal cord and twists, and the head pops right off.
Then I wink at Kole.
Bottle opener.
There is a moment like flash of like goes ready to swing and then sees the cue. Don't do that.
I told you
I almost took
Florenta
your-
was still alive unless we just see her corpse appear.
I almost took your whole head off right there.
Are there
And
more?
now
Are there
there
more?
are 12 piles of former skeleton bones and bone dust with nothing of value, unless you really, really want to pick up broken short swords and absolutely tattered ring mail from thousands of years ago.
No.
No, but I know that I do, and I'm assuming that Kole does, wants to pray over what's left and do a nice little Humpty Dumpty, don't get the heck back up again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's legit.
However, I'm gonna put my hand on Oldie Why don't you have armor?
I have armor. Look at this. Shows off some like padding. It's light armor.
I Cole's gonna look at Luka like, help me. Help.
Poke his rib. Poke his
Yeah.
rib. That'll show him how much armor he has.
It does sting a little.
Does it? I couldn't tell. He's going to check you over, and as he's doing so, we're going to use Cure Wounds. You get 12 hit points back.
Nice.
Oh, Jack,
Yes.
how many lay on hands a day do I get?
It's not how many per day, it's how many hit points per day.
Yeah, how much?
You get a total of 15 hit points of healing per long rest.
Okay. So I've taken 11.
Yeah, you can just lay hands on yourself and you'll have 4 hit points left remaining. And that's counting the extra 5 he gave you, right?
Yeah, I've taken a total of 11
Right.
because I'm at 44 for the next
Good.
8 hours.
Sure. So you're
Oh,
currently
you
at
can go with
33,
your
and you
fancy
can heal
high
that
hit
by
point
a touch.
AC.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and use 11 of my lay on hand.
Very wise. Okay, so you're completely healed. How much did you heal on him, Cole?
12.
12?
Yeah.
That. How much does that leave you wounded, Rev?
I'm at 24 out of 30.
Cool. So you're at the hit points you thought you had before.
Yeah, that works.
So Oldie does have some bruises. Good to know.
Ow.
Do you not have magic armor?
Clearly not.
Is somebody buying me magic armor? Because,
I might have to make you some. I can't believe you don't have any. How does that not notice that
listen,
yesterday?
I'm wearing just some light armor like people do.
Is it actually like
Closer
armor, or is he just
examination.
wearing clothes?
No, he's actually wearing leather. It's just that
Okay.
it's cut in such a way as to look like normal clothing. Because he wears it while performing.
Looks very sus at Oldie examining the clothes.
Yeah, Cole can, now that Cole's up close, Cole can tell he's wearing armor. It's just not very helpful or heavy.
It is armor in the lightest sense.
See, I'm wearing armor.
It's not
Gonna
very
poke
good. Armor.
you. He's gonna poke the rib again.
Don't
Take care of my friend, or I'll be very upset with you.
He said
I'm new
best
to
friend
this.
earlier.
I'm new to this, so I would like to not lose my best friend before I really understand what that means. I still don't know exactly what that means.
I'm
So I'm assuming
gonna teach you.
if no more healing or spell casting is going on, that you're also going to continue toward the tomb again?
Once we make sure that I know that Luka at the very least is making sure that everything that is left is properly buried and prayed over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're doing
It
that.
takes you maybe, it takes you, with all of you working, wait, Rev, does Oldie have prestidigitation?
Yes.
With all of you working, it takes about 10 minutes because a lot of the digging is made quite a bit easier.
Oh yeah, I see. I can.
You can move small amounts of objects and the rest of that, yeah. And you can help push the bones in and things a lot quicker than doing it by hand. So between clever uses of prestidigitation and so on, and some appropriate uses of thaumaturgy by Kole, you guys can speed up the effort. Plus, Luka's big and can do some quick digging. So yeah, it all gets done pretty quick. About 10 minutes later, you can get prepped to go in. If you would like, we can count that as a short rest. Before
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that means that if you choose to, Luka hasn't used a spell yet, so they don't have to. Kole, you can choose to regain 2 spell levels on a short rest.
Okay.
And since you've used 2, because you used a cure wounds and a burning hands doesn't cost you anything. That's right. So you've only used 1.
Oh, sweet.
Because
Okay.
you didn't cast the cure wounds at level 2, right?
I did not. So it was only a second level and a first level.
Yeah, so you've only used 1. You might not want to use your once a day refresh yet.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll hold it. Yeah.
But that short rest does mean that anyone who still has damage on them can spend a hit die and roll it for healing, and get an extra die 6 if Oldie the Song of Rest.
I'm gonna sing a song about putting the dead to rest and letting our bodies recover. And Song of Rest, which is a bard feature, and so everybody who can hear me can take an extra d6 of healing.
Sweet.
Spend hit dice for.
So 1 hit, as I said, 1 hit die. You roll your hit die and add your con mod. You get that many hit points back, but you only have 3 to use across a long rest. But because Oldie used Song of Healing, you roll your hit die plus 1 die 6 plus con mod.
Can I just roll the d6 rather than spending a hit die?
Nope.
It's got to be when you spend a hit die.
Yeah, it specifies when you spend a hit die.
All right. That's good to know for future use, because
So
I
am going to spend a hit die because I am still damaged, and then I roll an extra d6.
Correct.
All right. If we are
8 plus.
I don't know if you will allow this. Because we were taking a short rest and I wasn't aware, can I use the hit die rather than my lay on hands?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah, because basically the time you're spending in the lay on hands and stuff would have been time that you would have been spending resting and binding wounds before you laid on hands anyway. So I'm fine with that. Yeah, unless you're in, I'm totally going to be flexible about that unless you're in the heat of combat right then. In which case,
well, yeah, that's understandable. It's 1d10 plus the 1d6, right?
Correct, and your con mod. Yes, Justina.
Can Florenta, while all the spellcasters and prayers and all that is going on, can she try to find a stick, roughly 10 feet long?
You basically are going to have to get somebody to cut down one of the dead trees or pull off at the very least one of the big branches.
Okay, can I try to pull off one of the branches?
Yeah, give me a strength check.
Good. You can also ask.
That is, God, of course I get it for this. I got a natural 20 for that. It's like, wow, I beat the stick.
Basically, you jumped up, put your full body weight on it.
Really good.
Put your full body weight on it, flipped over it, down it came.
Nice. Oh, that's stupid.
The 20 came out so you could find a really good stick.
Look, we all know that Florenta is a little bit extra, and they do it well. Like
they do.
She is of the Ghost Spectre and the stick picker, apparently.
Yep. All right. So you guys, after that, after resting and healing and putting the dead to rest, etc., you move up, and you get at this point, your first really good look at the opening to the tomb.
Yep.
Which I have conveniently placed in Owlbear. Figured out a way to share images properly. It's a little rougher than the picture I just put there, but not a lot, not by a whole lot. This is a picture of an actual tumulus tomb in Romania, by the way.
Nice.
Sus.
Mm-hmm. You can ignore the ashtrays, and the doors are open.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
Okay.
Yeah, the doors are open. You can ignore the ashtrays.
So Jack, real quick,
Mm-hmm.
for the second level, sorry, for the spell refresh, I can do that once per long rest, like whenever I take a short rest. Okay.
When you take a short rest, once per long rest, correct.
Okay. And I can do up to like a second level, or just like
It's up to half your level rounded up in spell levels.
okay.
So it could be 2 first, 1 second, any combination.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear the second level because I'm gonna need a second level spell slot again. I want to make sure I have one on deck.
Okay.
When we walk in, I'm going to sort of look at Oldie. I need you to not look into this, okay? We are best friends, but this is magic. Nothing else beyond that, okay?
Don't look into what?
Just
Exactly.
promise me that you won't look into this, that you won't read into this. Promise me.
Okay, what is this?
I'm going to have to give you something, and you're going to have to wear it. Do not read into this. Promise me.
Okay, I won't read into this.
Okay. So he hands you a platinum ring.
Okay.
Put that on. Okay. And he puts one on his own finger.
This hardly seems the time for a marriage ceremony.
It is not. I just said.
You just said don't read into it.
He told you not to read into it.
This-
I can read
no, no,
into
no,
it
no,
all I
we're
want.
not-
He did not tell me not to read into it.
Don't put labels on things. Just let it be what it is. See where
It is a
goes.
It's a protective spell. I'm making sure that we get out of this alive.
Yes, marriage is often very protective of those that
This
we
is
love.
not
Yes,
marriage
it is.
proposal.
Luka is
Luka?
correct.
Luka,
You know what's funny about that? The marriage ceremony in the book actually gives you like +1 AC for a week.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So yeah, the material components for warding bond is a set of platinum rings, and both have to wear it. So I had to. I was like, oh, fuck. Okay.
And for the next hour, Oldie, as long as you stay within 60 feet of Kole, you get a +1 to AC and saves and have resistance to all damage. However,
you don't have to say that
takes-
part. You don't have to say. You don't have to say that part. It's fine.
you know that
That's
part.
fine.
That's fine. That's fine.
I got it.
While that's happening, Luka's gonna grab like a little string from one of their belts, and they're gonna make a little ring, and they're gonna go to Florenta, and they're gonna be like, "Eh."
You know, I have not been married yet. Let's do this.
This is
You are an
not-
attractive person.
This is not. Oh, God. This is,
Apparently, Rev, the team is going to win through the power of love and friendship.
See, just all about making friends.
All right.
Maybe forming a polycule, buying
We
a
are-
little farm.
Excellent. We are, by the way, going to go ahead and stop just as you enter the tomb, which,
Mhm.
by the way, the entrance, as long as you put any sort of light on it, which you kind of have to because it is pitch dark in there and you all have many ways to produce light. The entrance looks like that, except it is about 10 feet across once you're inside.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not scrunched, which is nice. That was a concern of mine.
Yeah, it's actually pretty tall. Because with the 10 feet across, that ends up being like 15 feet high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a well-built tomb.
So that's interesting. Yeah, it's not just a dolmen. It's actually a full labyrinth, a full.
Yeah.
They did
Yeah,
say
a tumulus
that-
tomb. Tumulus tombs are actually dug. That's why they all that extra dirt came from inside. He even mentioned that
yeah.
as he was talking to
Vin
you guys
just
last night.
mentioned that.
Yep. All right. So we are going to pause there for our 5-minute break. Thank you for watching Tomb of Sorrows, a successor States of Rega Dungeons and Dragons 5e actual play, all for the benefit of the National Network of Abortion Funds. Welcome back to the Successor States of Rega, Tomb of Sorrows, a D&D 5th edition actual play in support of the National Network of Abortion Funds. Our intrepid adventurers have just entered the tomb. What shall they find there? Let us discover it together. All right, so you can see what the entrance looks like. You now have a traditional, if somewhat wobbly, not wobbly, jagged? Jagged's not the right word either. The 10-foot pole is not straight.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Neither am I. What?
Gotcha. Mood.
Florenta doesn't know.
Well, adventures can be a voyage of discovery. Let us see what we find out.
Mhm.
So it is at this point, you are in a 10-foot wide corridor, as I said, probably 15 feet tall. What is your marching order?
Rear, as per usual.
You can, of course, go 2 by 2 if you like, because it is 10 foot wide.
Florenta is going to go to the front.
I think I will also go to the front. I've got a
Mhm.
shield. I can provide light, and I can see in the dark. So
All of those things are helpful. All right, so we have Cole's already on there. We have nope, that's not it. That's it. We have blow that back up so I can see it. There we go. You head downstairs to the view that I've already shown you. Kole and Florenta in the front, Luka in the back, and Oldie in the center, correct?
Yes,
Mhm.
Florenta is going to be searching for traps.
Very reasonable.
That is a perception skill in this.
It is. If you take a long time searching around, you can use investigation, but in general, it's perception.
Okay. All right, then. She got an 11 plus 4, so 15.
Okay. This area does not seem to be trapped, so that you can fog. Those of you who can actually see 60 feet and maybe a little further with the aid of the light, you can see that the corridor goes on quite a long way, with a number of offshoots. But you can't see down the sides until you move into the intersection. Unless you just want to peek around the corner, which is fine.
Move forward. Take a little looky-loo.
Okay.
Florenta would like to look through the other side.
Very reasonable.
Luka will be keeping an ear out for anything from behind that may pop out of the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Or
because we
from
know that they
above.
can do that. Right.
Always look up.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically how well you can see it. There does seem to be a soft glow from a number of tiny stones embedded in the wall at various distances, providing dim light, but it's not enough for people without dark vision to get much benefit out of it. It does extend the range of dark vision slightly, and the bright light near you, of course, with the light spell or call flame, whichever one you have up, does allow good vision for everybody within about 30 feet.
Cool.
And you said Luka was specifically keeping an ear out?
Yes.
Okay.
Forward, left, or right?
Jack, can I look at the walls real quick and see if there's any kind of writing or symbolic marking? Like, a
Sure.
lot of complexes have, like, oh, this is the way to the sauna, this is the way to the bathroom.
A map.
Yeah, you can totally look.
That would be perception.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Luka, what was your perception check?
I will let you know as soon as I roll because I just assumed that it would happen.
You can. You have a passive perception if you just want to accept your passive perception.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll do that. Wait, no, I already rolled. That'd be unfair. Doesn't matter? I don't care.
I don't care.
It's a difference of 1.
Right. So what's your total?
Sorry, go ahead, Ref.
20. 20
Very
total.
good.
Not natural 20, just 20 total.
Yeah, dirty 20. Cool. Yeah, there are markings suggesting that straightforward leads to, you can't make it out 100% clearly what it means exactly, but you're pretty certain that straightforward will lead you to the main burial chamber. Now, how many turns and twists there are past here, you can't tell, but forward is where to go now for that. Off to the right, apparently, is just secondary burial chambers. Apparently, this place has a lot of them. Off to the left, the same thing.
Okay, so according to the markings here, like that way and over that way are like where his, they mentioned like his little buddies are buried with him. Like those are like little side burials, like little peon burial places, and then like straight ahead's where like the big boy burial chamber is.
Okay.
15 for perception, Jack.
Very good. You notice that, Cole, which one are you using? The light spell or the call fire?
The fire.
Okay. The flickering light from the flame in his hand might be to blame for the flickering shadows, but then again, it also might not be. They don't seem quite right. Shadows are moving around oddly in this place. The tomb is much colder inside than it is above ground, even colder than one would expect from the insulated underground area. It's possible that those gems or stones in the wall are, which are, by the way, marked. You can see the little red dots or the little golden dots. That's where those are. So there are some in the floor further up as well. It's possible that those are also giving off some cold, or it just could be something else. There is a sense of oppressive grief and a sense of evil that even the ones that those of you who don't have the divine sense that Luka has, can feel the evil of the place. But yeah, Luka's the one who notices that the shadows are flickering oddly, and if they had hackles, then Luka's hackles would be up.
Gotcha.
Something troubling you, dear spouse?
Oh, dearest. These shadows are playing tricks on us, and I don't feel like playing right now.
I will switch from the continual flame to the light spell.
Okay. Within the within the area of bright light that the light spell creates, the flickering stops. Past that into the dim area, it seems to actually get, if anything, more intense, as if the shadows nearest you were driven away, like physical things.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got the highest passive perception?
I believe mine. I'm at a 17.
Higher than mine.
Okay.
I'm looking for mine. Where is it? I'm sorry.
It's your perception skill plus 10.
Oh, perception. It's 10. No, mine's 14. So yeah, you got higher.
Yeah, so unless you have it as expertise, you're probably not going to get higher. So expertise perception skill is always nice. Sorry. Regular road there.
As a trained rogue, you will perceive different things than other people, so that's just something to keep in mind.
Right.
So Kole.
Yes.
None of you are caught by surprise by this thing. You all have high enough passive perceptions, but Kole is the first one to notice. It looks like an odd rippling in the wall about 20 feet ahead of you, directly forward.
Did anyone see that?
Yeah. Remember that poem?
Yes.
They're swimming through the stones. That's what they're doing.
And then
They're swimming
a
through
moment
the stones.
thereafter, a humanoid shape that you can't quite make out darts across the hallway into the other wall.
Ooh, I want to get it so bad. I want to try and get it so bad. Okay. They are fast. So everyone be careful.
Yeah, we're walking into one of them spike traps, but the spikes are undead, which is so much more uncool.
It's not ideal. Okay.
All right, which direction are you guys going?
How far ahead of us are the things flickering through the walls?
The one that you saw flicker across is about 20 feet ahead down the main passage.
Down the main passage. Can we hold for a moment and see if we see it again?
I would be more than happy to do that, yes.
Absolutely.
You're all on watch now. Yeah, you catch it out of the corner of your eye on the right as it moves across the right-hand passageway.
Guiding bolt. I'm gonna do it. Guiding bolt.
All right, roll initiative.
Okay.
Wait.
If you were watching for it, you will definitely be able to act while it is still in the open. But I do need initiatives.
Okay.
Hold on, Justina had something to say.
Yes.
I did have, basically I wanted to know if we could discern a pattern to its movements.
Not
if it was erratic. I mean, I was going to ask Kole. I was going to ask Kole if he would hold, but it's up to Kole.
Okay. You're asking to hold. Okay.
Just see what it does, observe it, and then we'll be able to deal with it better.
Cool. So just so you know, when it first went ahead 20 feet ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
The next movement you saw, it moved past down south across the passageway to your right. Okay?
Right. Correct.
Which means it's probably, if it hasn't moved in another direction, it is in the stone to your right.
So then Kole should we should ready ourselves for it to come out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Since you were actively watching for where it was going to come from, you guys can move to the left side so that it at least has to cross some open space to get to you. And yes, Kole, you were prepared to blast it this time.
Yeah.
Then we can start with the guiding bolt and roll initiative from there.
Awesome. Okay. That is the 5 plus 2, 7. That is 26.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Awesome. I was 1 away from the critical.
Nice.
Two, 4, 6 plus 6 is 12 radiant damage.
All right. Well, that doubles to 24 as it is
Good.
vulnerable to radiant damage.
Fantastic.
And your entire party will get advantage. No, actually, I believe it is the next attack.
It's the next attack, yeah.
So I need everyone else to roll initiative. We will simply start with Kole at the top, since he was ready to do that thing.
Hey, Jack.
Yes, ma'am. Sir. Both.
Either. Can we're all doing so great. My sight from my god, when I watched it pass and then watched it pass again,
there's something there, but it's not a soul. To find out exactly what it was, you would probably have to actually expend a divine sense, but you could certainly do so.
I mean, that was going to be the plan. I got five of them left.
Yeah, you've got 5 left.
Nice.
So yeah.
Sure.
All right.
And but that does take an action, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. All righty. As I said, Kole is at the top. Florenta, what is your initiative?
22.
So,
All right.
both not at the top.
No, you were at the top. You're staying at the top because you initiated the battle.
Sure.
I'm just trying to be rational and not give you an extra attack. All right. So Florenta's at 22. Luka.
Yeah, I'm on a 3.
Oh dear.
There it
Okay.
is. That's how that
happens.
it's supposed to go.
By the way,
Tracks.
Kerberos, I forgot to put him on the map, but Kerberos is beside Luka.
Yes, we keep Rev in the middle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Little happy oldie sandwich.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Oldie, what is your initiative, Oldie?
My initiative is an absolutely massive 8.
Oh, excellent. Very good. All right. So
We're
the next
doing
person
so
act,
good.
unsurprisingly,
We're so
is
fast.
Florenta.
All right, so Florenta is going to draw her silver dagger and try to stab this thing with it.
All right. Do that thing.
Do it.
With advantage.
And, with advantage. Yay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so much better. I got a
Good.
19 on that one as opposed to the 12 on the other. So
Good.
let's
Good.
see. D4 plus 4 piercing. I got 6 piercing.
Okay. You had advantage, so you get sneak attack.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything that gives you advantage gives you sneak attack when you're a rogue.
That is brutal.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
Oh
it
my-
is.
Yeah.
You never get more than one
Okay.
attack as a. It balances out because you never get more than one attack as a rogue.
Okay, so I rolled 2 6s, so that's 12 more points of damage.
All right. So your total is what? 12 plus.
12 plus 6.
All right. So
That's my wife.
it is 18 points
Florenta
of
blushes
damage.
furiously.
However,
Mm.
it is halved to 9. It does not seem to be vulnerable. It is resistant to piercing, at the very least, from non-magical weapons, and does not seem to have a vulnerability to silver.
Excuse you.
Also, you're up close and personal with this thing, having stabbed it with a silver knife, and it looks like a mummified corpse half made of stone.
I see, I knew it was gonna be something like that. That's not good.
All right.
Mummies are bad, man.
It is Kerberos' turn.
They're adding a stone mummy.
He's going to move forward. Unlike before, he is not raging because he's not sure how to approach this thing, really.
Fair. Neither
But
do
he's
we.
going to move up on the other side of. He does understand tactics, so he'll move up on the other side of it from Florenta, giving himself advantage. He does barely hit it. By the way, Florenta, you realize you barely got through its armor as well.
What?
He does hit it, barely tagging it. He would have done 13. He ends up doing 6. As the axe kind of bites in, but is stopped by some of the stone. Oldie.
Were you updating the map, or because I don't see Kerberos on the map? Or
I had not remembered to put him back on yet, so that's a good looking out.
I'm just trying to pay attention to where everybody is here.
There it is. Okay. So basically it freaking got small again. I don't like that. Basically, you guys moved over out of,
Yeah, away from the right-hand side.
away from the right-hand side. And Kole was basically here. Florenta moved up here as it came here. And he moved there. And it is
Between Florence and Kerberos there. Okay.
that's not the size it's supposed to be. It's not that big.
Oh my.
It is not that big. It is medium sized.
It is regular people sized. Good.
Right. It's a horrible monster.
It is. Oldie, what are you doing?
All right. Oh, let me see. There's a monster there who probably doesn't have a useful brain to tease. So I'm gonna smack him with the firebolt. That's a good old go-to.
Sounds
there.
worthwhile.
Fling fire in his face, and that will hit up to a 25 AC. So I hope and pray that hits.
It does.
You.
It totally does. Enough attacks have occurred for you to realize its AC is exactly 19.
Ooh. And then I do 9 fire damage unless it's resistant to fire, in which case,
You do 9 fire damage.
Yay!
Not resistant. That's good.
The
And
power
remember,
of
it had
friendship
taken,
and
it had
fire
already,
will fix
it
any-
started off taking 24 radiant. It's taken 9 fire, and it's taken damage 6 from
Florenta.
Kerberos and 9
It was
from
9.
yeah. So even after having, she did 9.
Yeah.
So 24. It's taken 48 points of damage thus far. It doesn't look too badly hurt yet.
Yeah, I'm disturbed by this. We
All right.
we just smashed it up, but good, and it don't look too smashed up.
And now, despite the fact that you got a 3, Luka, you go before it does. It rolled a 1 and got a total of a 2 on its initiative.
Nice.
Oh,
It was
buddy.
counting on you guys not seeing it coming.
Ah.
That's fair. I'm also not fast.
Yeah, I
It
can see
moves
that.
quickly enough. It just doesn't have fast reflex.
Being dead, corpse fighting gross and all that.
Okay. So I can either divine sense to try and get a read on what this thing is, or I can
Or-
smack it real hard.
You could smack it real hard, and if you smite, all of that damage will be doubled because it's radiant damage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you've
I
already
think that's
seen-
the one I'm going to go with.
Mhm.
Yeah. Your sense said not a soul, so you'll need to worry about it.
Yeah. But they are curious, much like I am.
Oh, sure.
Curiosity can come later. People are getting hurt, and I get it. It's fine.
Oh God. We're fine.
All right. It is
You get
flanked.
it?
It is flanked. So you have advantage.
The first roll wasn't bad, but
But it could crit.
that was worse. I didn't like that one.
All right.
That's fine. Okay, so I rolled a 23 to hit the first time.
Absolutely hits.
The second was not great, and I don't want to talk about it.
Then we won't.
Was it a
That's
2?
the advantage of advantage.
Was it a 2? Yeah.
No,
it
it
was.
was a 1.
It was a 1.
Yeah. But we didn't have to talk about it. That was the point.
We don't have to talk about it.
But it's so much more fun if you do.
You shush. All right, so I get an extra 2d8, correct?
Yeah. Absolutely, because you only have first level slots.
Don't they get an extra D8 if it's undead?
I think you may be correct, sir. Let me double check that. Yep. +1 die 8 if the target is an undead or a fiend. You have
Yeah.
so yeah, do your normal Warhammer damage. Give me that separately from the 3 die 8 radiant.
Okay, so the first one that is just bludgeoning. We'll stay with the Warhammer for right now.
Mhm.
And they're using it single-handed, so they can have the shield as of right now. I'll let you know if that changes.
Absolutely.
Max damage.
Nice.
So that is 13 regular bludgeoning damage.
Yep, that drops to 6.
Okay. Now I will have to math, so give me a second. Please be patient.
That's fine.
Boo. Okay, 14 total
Double.
radiant
Radiant?
damage.
Very nice. Okay. So at this point, as the hammer cracks into it, you hear the loud resounding crack and the radiant damage blasts into it. The silver light of Kale just smacking like it don't know no better, which it don't. And now is the time when it starts to look like it's really been hurt. In other words, it just passed bloodied. It's got some cracks in it. It's got singes and burn marks on it from a couple of different good solid hits. But this is a tough creature. Not having enjoyed that at all, it is going to attempt to reach out and grab Luka. But it only gets a total of 12, having rolled a 4. So it does not grab you. As you're leaning back and you interpose your shield, you can feel both a feeling of cold from it, but also, and not real cold, but that cold that is the cold of death, not the cold of winter. And just the implacable sturdiness of stone. Like both of those are embodied in its grip. But as it misses you, it sort of silently snarls. It doesn't seem to be able to make any vocalization. And it pulls back into the wall. Now, that does provoke attacks of opportunity from everyone who's in melee with it.
Bet. Sweet. That's I hit. I got a natural 19 on the die.
Good. Roll your damage.
2 quick questions. It's a little unclear on the map for me. Am I within that range?
Yeah, you're within 5.
And can I cast a spell as a attack?
Not unless you have the Warcaster feat.
Okay, I thought it was a feat. Thank you.
Yep. And it's a feat you should get.
Yes.
Yeah.
Possibly this next level.
And that is a possibility indeed.
All right. So what's your damage?
11.
Okay. That drops to 5.
It does not. I have a magic weapon.
You do. Let me double check.
It's a +1.
Yes, that is specifically from non-magical weapons. So well done. Takes the damage.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
It's like being
got
a
a
force cleric
23.
has benefits.
Yeah.
All right. Luka.
I got a 23 to hit.
All right. Did you want to smite again? That's not an action.
Yeah, you can just do that again.
I know, but I only have 2 more.
Fair.
True.
I'll save it for now.
Very good.
That is 10.
Okay. So it takes 5. It does look hurt. There's no indication that the damage is healing in any way. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
I was also in melee range.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You all were. So whichever one of you wanted to go next. Justina raised her hand, so that's her. Yeah.
Okay, so can I grapple this thing? And what effect would that have on it?
You can absolutely grapple this thing. What effect it would have on it, you don't know.
Okay, I mean mechanically in 5e because I'm not familiar with grappling.
Mechanically, generally speaking, if they are grappled, they are restrained. But if they're stronger than you, they can move you.
Okay. Fair. Let's try it.
All right.
All right. What do I have to roll?
You are rolling a normal attack.
Okay. All right, and I got a dirty 19, so I do hit it.
All right, you got to grab on it. Now you can choose to use the better of your athletics or acrobatics to get the hold, and it will oppose.
All right, I'm going to use acrobatics. Oh my God, I got a natural 20.
Okay, what's your total?
24.
This is an opposed roll, so
right, 24.
yeah. It got a 29.
Sheesh.
So rather than you
Fail.
grappling it, you are now grappled, and it
Mhm.
continues backward into the wall, and you go with it.
You let go of my wife.
Oldie.
That's not good.
Can I grab a hold of Justina? Of Florenta?
I was like, no, you can't grab a hold of Justina. She's quite a distance from you. We're doing this over Zoom call. But yes, you may attempt to grab hold of
Florenta.
Florenta. Yes.
All right. Do I need to make a check for that, or can Florenta relent to it?
Well,
If
you have
she
to make a
shows-
check because she's not moving herself.
It's being dragged.
It is.
Okay. And it's the same thing. I could choose athletics or acrobatics, or
You still have to roll to hit first.
oh, I have to roll to hit first.
Yeah, you
Okay.
make a dex-based roll to hit first, and then you can dex for you. People could use either one.
Okay, and that's a 12.
You got a total of a 12?
Yes.
Yeah, nope. It yanks her out of your way.
No,
and
Florenta,
into the
come back
wall.
here. We have to steal things together.
So Florenta,
Mhm.
I need you to make a Constitution save.
I am using my inspiration because that was
That
a
seems
2.
wise.
It was
All
better.
right, so I got an 18.
Excellent. The DC was 16. It let go of you while you were inside the solid stone, having moved 30 feet into the stone.
Mm-hmm.
You had to make a Constitution save DC 16 or be trapped inside the stone, recoverable only by greater restoration. But since you succeeded on the save, you are shunted to the nearest open space, which is 30 feet, taking 3d6 force damage.
Okay. Well, you'll roll the damage. So
You take 12 force damage, but you can make a con save DC 16 again to half that.
That is a 16 on the dot. Jeez.
All right. You take 6 force damage, and I wanted to double check. You do not yet have uncanny dodge. So you take 6 force damage and are shunted back into the space that it took you into the wall at in the open, gasping for breath and hurting very badly. Even it hurts more than the damage is worth simply because of what just happened to you. It was more than a little worrisome to be trapped in solid stone for even a split second.
Florenta is cursing angrily.
And that is where we will stop for the evening. I will keep track of the hit points it currently has.
Jeez. Oh, buddy. Cool.
The bonus is you have hurt it significantly.
Yeah.
We'll see if that's enough.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone, for watching The Tomb of Sorrows, Successor States of Rega, 5th edition D&D actual play benefiting the National Network of Abortion Funds. I'm going to get my wonderful, amazing players to read us out, and then we will hand it back over to Lion. Rev.
Hi, I'm Rev. I write games for Thought Police. I post really weird, random things, and I am in no way a squirrel in a human-shaped mech. And you can find me on Twitter as _Thought Police.
We believe him. Justina.
I'm Justina. You can find me under Justina Revolution on Twitter. I write weird horror and dark fantasy games. And I just ask that you please donate or share because the cause for reproductive rights is really, really serious. So, thank you.
Del.
Hello, I'm Del at Del Deliriums, or Delirium is Delight. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the session and our wonderful GM and Lion for hosting. Please, please, please donate to our cause. This is one of the most important things that is out there at this moment. We shouldn't have to fight for the rights to our own body, but here we are. So please, 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 if you can find it, $1 helps. Share it, like it, follow it, all that good stuff.
Q.
Hi, I'm Q, Dorian_Black on things or stuff. Thank you all for watching. Please, hope you continue to do so. Share with your friends, your mama now, and of course, donate. This is an excellent cause. As Lion has said multiple times, corpses have rights, so living bodies should as well. So thank you.
I am Jack Kellum, Jack Gogsbane on Twitter. Jack the Giant Killer, proprietor of Gods and Game Masters. But the most
You have so
important thing
many
I'm
names.
doing, I know, the most important thing I'm doing right now is these actual plays for charity. Please support your local abortion charity, your local fighters for rights. I don't care who you support as long as you support the fight. Obviously, we'd like to get it through us, makes us feel like we've accomplished something. But the important thing is that you do support the fight any way you can. To clarify the corpses have rights thing, you cannot make someone give up their organs after death, even to save someone else's life. That is the crux of the matter regarding people who can become pregnant. You cannot force anyone to give up their bodily autonomy, even for another's life. So all of the arguments about whether it's killing, all of the arguments about whether the baby's a baby yet are actually irrelevant. Thank you.
Thank you again to everyone for joining us for this amazing session of Rega, Tomb of Sorrows. We're going to be back next week with the epic conclusion to our story, which is pretty exciting, and I can't wait to share that with y'all. We'll be back tomorrow with Avatar Legends, The Breaking Point, and then on Friday with part 2 of Veil of the Void, The Dead Planet. Now, as a friendly reminder, you can donate even when we're not on air. The link is always live. You can find it on our Twitch. You can find it over on my Twitter at TheLionKnight42. You can find it anywhere in that space because I post it a bunch of times and these amazing people do as well. Seriously.
Yeah, I post it constantly.
Yeah, seriously, please, anything helps. And if you can't, that's all right. Share, tell people, let them know, get eyes on this. And you can always go contact your local abortion funds directly to see other ways that you can assist as well, because there's always ways that you can help. Thank you so much for being here to this amazing cast and our incredible DM. Thank you so much to everyone who's been hanging out in the chat, to everyone who's helped make this all possible. Thank you for all your donations and support and continued support. And we'll see you soon. Have a good one.